Hey guys, it is Max Powers, and I wanted to do this live, but I'm on the Blue Ridge Parkway and I haven't had a cell signal for days. So I'm going to record it and hopefully I can find a signal and put it up, but I'm going to try and keep them short so that I can do that and not have to spend 3 and 4 hours uploading videos. So yeah, I last year, about 13 months ago, was about to head out on this epic road trip, and then the pandemic hit. So I was not able to do that. Here I am now, doing the same thing. I got the Squatchmobile set up, and the roof tent is on top, and I am going down to meet with well, we'll see who's there. There's a bunch of Bigfooters in the Green Swamp of Florida. Namely, I'm going down to meet with Matt from Central Florida Bigfoot. And he's got a bunch of guys. We're going to go out in the Green Swamp and try and figure this thing out. Until then, I'm going to stop along the way and try and meet up with some other Bigfooters. Trying to hook up with Parkway, formerly Parkway Hippie. I use a lot of people's old names instead of the new ones. I still call Lorette S. I call her Lotsie Sands, I think it was. But I still call her Lotsie. So if you're a Bigfooter and you used a name, I'm still going to use it. Or shorten it. In the case of Driftless Area Sasquatch, who's now just Driftless, I call him Drift. Lazy diction, I don't know. Anyway, I'm on the road. I'm heading out. Right now I'm on the Blue Ridge Parkway. You missed the northern half because I was looking for a signal. And I've given up on that. So yeah, it's time for an epic Bigfoot road trip. Tonight I am going off into the woods to find a campsite that doesn't exist on any map. Someone gave me coordinates, and I'm gonna pop them into my GPS and head off road. I'm about an hour away, and I've got to get there and set up camp before I lose daylight. So, epic road trip is on. Epic Bigfoot road trip. Can I call it that? Should that be the name of the series? The Epic Bigfoot road trip. All right, guys. I'm sick of my own voice at this point. I'll talk to you later. Hey, there are a bunch of driving videos in this big video. Along the sides of them, you'll see possible structures, brakes, leans, things like that. I will put these videos up in real time so that you can examine each of them and tell me what you think about what's being seen on the side of the road. I saw so much evidence I started to doubt it, and I think that just means that we need to look closer at this evidence, find some tree experts. Ultimately, I think that the proof of the existence of these creatures, these beings, lies in things like these structures. Is it natural? Is it not? And a tree expert can tell us that. The other thing I think that we really need to look at is examining the calls and figuring out just what these things are. Is it a loon? Is it a Bigfoot? I don't know. Let's find an expert to tell us. And someday we're going to stump them, and it's going to be evidence on our side of the field, on our side of whatever, you know what I'm saying. And I think that's key. I think that it's the little things that are going to prove this, and eventually we're going to be able to get science to jump on board. Hey guys, how are you? I was going to show you camp. And then the wind kicked up and the rain started, and so I got this tent up, and it seems to be all right. This thing over the back, I'm eating a little dinner, just sausages, cheese, some salad, glass of wine. There's the back of the Rover. I haven't even set up the tent yet because set it up in the rain. You got to break down a wet tent, and I'd like to be out fairly early in the morning. So, yeah, not much to see here, folks. Move along.
Hey guys, how are you? It's Max Powers. I never did set up the tent. I'm in that little cubby in the Land Rover. The rain, it's just pouring, and so I called it an early night. Yeah. This is how I sleep when I sleep in the Land Rover. Anyway. So I have no mapping units. My Gaia, I don't have road layers on it. I can still. I gotta lower the suspension height. There we go. Put my seatbelt on. There's all kinds of things I'm getting yelled at for. I don't know the speed limit on this road. I don't know if it's 25 or 35. It's a little windy and hilly. And I'm hoping there's a coffee shop up here in Montebello. Not much going on here. Maybe they've got coffee. I'm gonna hope they do. So I just pulled out of that little place, country store with a gas station. Yeah, so there's that. Sweet little old lady inside. Like typical country grandma, right down to little glasses at the end of her nose. I bet if you handed that woman a wooden spoon, she could beat me to within an inch of my life. Sweet and lovely, but I wouldn't have messed with her. Pardon me while I slurp my coffee. Oh, shit. You know, if you're gonna sell coffee, make sure your lids fit your goddamn cups. Pardon my language. Shit. All right. See if I can't get us back to that Blue Ridge Parkway. Okay, one more thing. I had to choose between, it's late in the morning, it's 10 a.m. I had to choose between Irish cream flavored coffee or French vanilla flavored coffee. Can I just remind everyone that coffee is a flavor? You know? Coffee's a flavor, and I like it. You can put your coffee grinds on pork chops, a little cinnamon, cayenne pepper. I know that sounds crazy, but they'll grill up pretty good. Is that where I was supposed to go? 686. Oh boy. I should be reading the signs instead of drinking my flavored coffee. I remember coming down a steep, curvy hill on the way there, so I'm thinking I'm still going the right way. Hey guys, how are you? Once again, there's a raging river running right next to me. It's not raging, it's kind of raging. But there's a river next to me. I'm mic'd, so I'm hoping you can hear me. I mentioned either in another video or earlier in this video that I was going to give you a tour of camp. And then the storm hit. I'm going to give you a tour of camp. It's an edited version because that storm that hit broke my canopy that I put over my kitchen. So what can you do? But I am, I don't know, halfway down the Virginia section of the Blue Ridge Parkway. Last night I camped out in the woods. Tonight I found this spot for $15. You can't beat that. There's either too much light or not enough. Story of my life. So this was a $15 campsite. It's right on a river, in the middle of a national. This one's in Jefferson National Forest. So I'll give you a little tour. If I turn it around, I can't tell if what I'm looking at's in the shot is the thing. So, hope you can see this. Can you see this? Yeah, there we go. That's my folding wooden chair, which is key. It was out in the storm last night, and it dried by the time I was packing the car. So I got up at 6. By 8 o'clock, I was loading the car. And that chair was dry after all that rain and wind we had. It was torrential. It was a deluge. I had my fire ready to go, but there was no place to buy firewood, and scavenging it without a chainsaw is a pain in the ass. So I didn't. I just went around the campsite and got some small branches. I'll have about an hour's worth of fire, and that'll be about it. Over here, where did it go? All right, guys, this is top secret. This right here is my prop tent. I don't actually sleep in that. I could. I used to. The tent is probably older than a lot of you people watching. I think I was married when I bought it, which, yeah, that was a long, long time ago. It's a little heavy by today's standards, but it's in great shape and it's a good tent. But the only thing I use it for is to reserve a campsite. So I checked in early here. I put the tent up, and then I went and I bought groceries and things like that. It moves the opposite way I'm moving the camera. Anyway, the reason I have this is because of this, because of the rooftop tent. If I need to go out, I have to pack up the tent. So I don't open the tent until I know I'm situated and staying.
I needed firewood. I couldn't find a place to buy firewood. That ugly little pile is all I got. It's going to burn for about an hour. I'll wait until just before dark to do it, and then I'll light my fire. The rooftop tent, all in all, is great. I mean, how many people go camping and have a memory foam mattress? I've got a memory foam mattress. I've got 2 memory foam pillows. There's LED lighting, which I don't have up there yet, but it would go right through my sunroof and into my goal 0. And I would have all the power I need to watch Netflix or whatever. So that is where I sleep. My kitchen's in the back. Tonight I'm just gonna have like a little charcuterie board. It was a long day on the road, and so I'm just gonna have sausage, cheese, and fruit, and maybe a glass of wine. So I'm not gonna show you the kitchen. If you're an overlander, I got a secret to tell you. Well, I guess I'll show you the kitchen. Kind of. Well, you'll get the nutshell version. Doesn't look like much. Over here is a bear-proof fridge. Can you see this? Oh, we're down here. Bear-proof fridge. I had a 12-volt fridge. And I camp in the shade, and when you have a 12-volt fridge and you don't have a second battery system, where's my, this is not good. Here we go. When you don't have a second battery system, to run a fridge is a ridiculous amount of energy. So I went out and I bought a cheap version of the expensive coolers. You find out who Yeti's suing, and then you buy that cooler, because there's a reason why Yeti's suing them. I left days ago. I don't know. I think this is my 4th night, and I'm still on my original ice. There is water in it, but there's an awful lot of ice left. Is it Lifetime? It's bear-proof anyway. Nothing's actually bear-proof, but you can padlock it, and I guess it'll take quite a beating from bears. This over here, and I'll show it to you at another time, is my Camp Chef stove and oven. This is another thing that I spent way too much money. Actually, it's worth what I spent on it, because it's been my kitchen stove in the Corona bunker for the last year. So 13 months actually. It's a 2-burner gas stove with a gas oven. It runs on these little propane bottles. Or, if you want to hook it up, you just need an adapter to hook it up to a 20-pound bottle. All in all, it's a great stove. I have no complaints. But in the storm last night, I don't know if there was just too much moisture in the air. I went to make coffee this morning and it didn't go. So I was a little bummed about that. So I decided just to have a charcuterie board tonight. Some almonds, some cheese, some sausage, some fruit, glass of wine. I think I already told you that. I'll test this in the morning, see if I can't get some coffee made. Oh, hey, look at that. You can see us all. And if I can get some coffee made, then all is good. If not, I'll probably replace it with something much smaller. I'm going to be replacing, at the end of this road trip, I'm going to build an off-road trailer with a kitchen in the back. I'm just going to put a cooler in it. I'm not going to worry about the powering a fridge. It's too much to do. And when you're in spots like this, with trees overhead, your solar doesn't charge and your food goes bad, and it's annoying as hell. There. This takes up too much room. If you're trying to camp and you're trying to, yeah, it's nice to have an oven, and I have used the oven. I do like to roast. I do like to roast a meal on occasion. But it uses up a ton of gas. It takes up a ton of space, and for the money, I think a large cast iron, what do you call them? Dutch oven. is probably a much better value. And then you can get individual burners if you're a person who does, 2 burner dishes like I do all the time. You can buy a double burner. If you're just going to throw stuff in a wok or whatever, you can do a single burner. Save yourself a ton of money, space. Would I buy it again? Yes, I would. If I were like, if you've got 40 acres of land in Vermont, Northwest Territories, or in the Great North Woods of New Hampshire, or somewhere in Maine that's not flat, yeah, I would do it again. I would keep it in my cabin, but I don't think I'd bring it with me on the road. All right. This is the moment you've all been waiting for. This is my rooftop tent. I don't have everything set up, but let's go up. I'll show you. You're going to get seasick because I don't have a gimbal yet. Matt from Central Florida Bigfoot's going to give me a gimbal, he says, and that's way too nice of him. I don't like that at all. I don't like accepting gifts from people. Okay. Can you see in there? This is the inside. I hope you can see all that. It's basically like a memory foam mattress anyway, and it's pretty comfortable. It does tend to flatten out, but I don't know if it's the mattress flattening out or just my MS being a bitch. I'm not exactly sure. But most nights it's really, really comfortable. You can see my big fat pillows, they stay in it. Usually my bedding stays in it, but last night where I didn't sleep in the tent, I'm really fortunate that I had the foresight not to leave the sleeping bags in there, or I would have slept wrapped in a little blanket last night. But yeah, it's pretty comfortable. There's tons of ventilation. You have to make sure to use the ventilation. Dress warm, get a warm sleeping bag, ventilate your tent. Otherwise, you wake up soaking wet. All your gear gets wet, you get wet, and that's how you get sick. So if you look up there, I've got the skylights open. I haven't seen the weather. It comes on my Garmin, and I just haven't had a chance to look at it. So I have those skylights open, but I have the rainfly on. Air will get in, I'll be well ventilated, and I'll have a nice comfortable night's sleep with no perspiration, which will be great. Was up to at one point 77 degrees today. Then I changed altitude, it got a lot warmer, and I liked it. These little red straps that you see, those are handles that actually hang out the end here. So if you are a little, movement challenged like I am, they're 2 handles to help pull you up into the tent. So I think those are awesome things. I like them. I got to remember to throw my sleeping bags up here before I get too tired. Yeah, so that's it in the tent. There's a Velcro strip you can kind of see. I've got these cables up there that pull the sides in when I fold it up. And in one corner, you can see a little bit of Velcro above that window. And that's where the lighting Velcros in. I can take that out, and I actually have a Velcro strip on my tailgate, the part that swings up. So when I'm cooking, I can use that same light to strap on for cooking. So it's kind of cool. So yeah, that's the grand tour of camp. It's kind of boring. It's a letdown because I don't have as much set up as I usually do, and I apologize, but maybe there'll be another chance down the road. All right, guys. This is more for the American Rover channel, not so much for the Max Powers Bigfoot Hunter channel, but it's the inside my tent. This is how I live. This is how I'll live for probably the next year or so until I get bored and, I don't know, sell this whole rig and move to Europe. And then do videos on that, maybe. I don't know. right? Deborah Flellows, I hope, Deborah Flello, I hope you were watching. Maybe you can, hook me up with a nice little bungalow in France somewhere. And show me where all the good Bigfoot spots over there are. All right, now that I put the plug in for that, for me, I'm going to let you go. Okay, guys, here we go. Fire Building 101. Let's see how this works. There we go. So I started with grass to sticks, little twigs, to bigger twigs, to bigger sticks, and we'll hopefully get a nice, there we go, now it's caught. Hopefully get a nice burn going. There we go, it's catching. I'm standing right in the smoke. That little area I left so I could get the lighter into the underbelly, the grass below. But wow, this is working better than I'd planned, which means it'll probably go out in 2 seconds. There we go. So I was practicing a Bigfoot stick structure as I built it. Bunch of smaller sticks. You want some airflow in there. I thought this might work. Oh yeah. All right. I won't bore you. I'll check back in when it's... Oh, all right. We got some tall flames. I'll check back in a few minutes. So the Blue Ridge Parkway got a little boring, and then I found this with my Garmin GPS and my Gaia app. Leads the same direction. Kind of a cool view. And no guardrails. I don't know if you can see how steep down that is.